All right, we moved down the street on Lower Main Street about 2 blocks. And we're here behind me. Used to be John and Kate's Luncheonette. Alan, I, a bunch of us neighbors in the area here of Lower Bainhurst Avenue. This is where we come to get the school bus in the mornings to go over to high school across town.
But as young kids, this was our candy store. And Kate and John had a fountain in the back where you could get a hamburger and a Coke and a bunch of pinball machines. And we would spend our Saturdays playing pinball and after school.
You want to get the old time ice cream, soda, or float, the soda jerk at the counter. That's what it was back in the day here at John and Kate's. Just one of the corners that all of us here at Lower Main Street would know, the John and Kate's corner.
And today it's a hair salon where I get my hair cut. Welcome back. We've moved a little bit further down Main Street, about half a mile, and we are at the Sayreville Historic Society, which is in a building that was the original schoolhouse in Sayreville. It was opened in 1884.
Way back.
Way back.
Way back.
And then rebuilt in 1900. When I was a kid at Washington School next door, that we'll talk about in a moment, this was the Board of Education offices and the superintendent's office was here. You did not want to have to come over here. Today the Historic Society maintains all sorts of exhibits from old Sayreville, including things from the Sarah Fisher Brick Company and different companies that have located and been in Sayreville for over 100 years. Which
we're going to take you down and show you the last remnants of the Sarah Brick Factory, the tower. We'll talk a little bit about that.
There you go.
Here's the old bell, back from the first school bell in Sayreville.
First school bell.
1896. That's just a few years ago. We're looking at the Washington School, the elementary school.
Yes. Washington School was, the original part of the building was opened in 1923 with 8 classrooms in it. And then an 8 classroom addition with a cafeteria was added in 1959. When I was in the 5th grade, I was in the first classroom on the lower end of that building, the new addition, and had classrooms in every part of this building. The gymnasium has been converted to a banquet hall. Today, Washington School serves as the Sayreville Senior Citizen Center.
Now for me, I can't pick up my school education in Sayreville until the junior high school, because again, I say I'm a Sayreville boy. I will always be a Sayreville boy, and one reason why I'm proud about Sayreville, because I believe Sayreville is what made me in my life. You know, it gave my structure, it gave my friends, support system, family, and 45 years later, it's still my home. Even though I was born and partially raised in East Brunswick, Sayreville's still close to home here. So now we're looking at a corner. If we walk down this corner right here, a lot of you old timers will know we talk about Swanee's Bar. That's a classic old time bar. It's no longer there, but we're going to go up Pulaski Avenue.
This light has been here for at least 60 years. From the time I can remember, and I'm 67. Pulaski Avenue runs between Main Street and Washington Road. Some of the highlights of Pulaski Avenue when we were kids, of course, Red's, which is our barber shop. Both of us got our haircut
both of them
there.
Their haircuts. Yep.
Hills Market, where my mom shopped, was up on top of the hill. Andy's, Targonski's.
Oh,
Andy's, Tasty Sub.
Yeah, right.
Had the best hamburger, cheeseburger subs in the world, as well as great pizza. Dad would bring that home every Friday night. And there is, once again, a sub shop opened up in there.
Some of y'all might remember Hills Market. Now, that's where my dad, when we left East Brunswick, he took a job over at Hills Market back here on Pulaski Avenue. He was the butcher, one of the main butchers. So some of y'all remember Steve. He was a bald-headed gentleman here. Excellent, top-notch butcher. Some of y'all remember him, but it's no longer Hills Market anymore. But it's right there, right above Swanee's. But again, Swanee's had that old-time Sayreville. Yeah, knocking a few back. Now, we were all young. Now, we didn't partake. Now, we weren't part of that, but some good stories about Swanee's.
Let's put it this way. I had my first legal beer at Bootsy's, right down by Sunglow, but I had my first illegal beer in a paper cup at Swanee's.
All right, we're going to keep moving our way down the river, down Lower Main Street toward Borough Hall and some other things, and come along for the ride, everybody. Again, we're talking about Sayreville and the history of Sayreville. You have to touch many oftentimes bases about the Sarah Fisher Brickyard, which we're going to be going down to shortly. But let Alan talk about this church about here. It has a little history of the Brickyard.
This is Sayreville United Methodist Church. This building was built all with Sarah Fisher brick, and it was requisitioned by John Sayer, who paid for the brick, to build this church in 1888. The parsonage was added a couple of years later. The church still has its original pipe organ from the 1800s, which is still playable today.
Says a lot for building with brick, doesn't it, here? Still standing this day, 130 years later.
Mm-hmm.